What's been your biggest pivot in life? The moment you can look back on and say, because this happened to me or for me, I am who I am today.
I think my biggest pivot, it's a combination. It's the people that I've been around and that influenced me. Mm-hmm. And I was writing a book about halfway through, and I send in some stuff, and the editor goes, "Do you realize everybody that you?" Because it was about the people who made me. Mm-hmm. So it was everybody who. It was a tell-all book of everybody who influenced me, but what they did positively to influence me. And so I was, writing it. He's like, "You realize everybody on your list has a book written about them? They all have a book." So I was like, really? I'm thinking, so it's the people. So from sports, obviously Dean Smith, Michael Jordan, we go through there, right? You're talking about Akeem Olajuwon. Bill Russell was my first coach. Bill Russell, so he had a rule I had to sit next to him on every plane ride and every bus ride.
That knowledge.
So, yes, as a rookie. So he would talk and he'd say stuff like, so, Kenny, back in our day when, I was with, me and Malcolm would go over here and we'd go eat. And I'm like, Malcolm? He's like, yeah, MalcolmX. So, like, what? Like, yeah, Martin. He would like, Martin Luther King. So like, he would tell me stories about them like it was so casual. So like, the people who made me, like him. And then, my college roommate, one of my college roommates in one summer was a guy named David Kohler. And David Kohler, if you look at any plumbing, you're gonna see Kohler on it. Mm-hmm. And $9 billion later, college roommate, he didn't pay rent. That was another thing. So we're sitting one night.
That's how you get rich.
So we're sitting there one night and we're talking about life. And he told me, he says, my dad would always, I said, so I didn't know who he was at the first, like how he was. So he's telling me about his life and I'm like, wait a minute, you're rich. You know what I'm like? He's like, oh, he's playing it off. And I'm like, well, now, why are you paying rent? But I'm like, well, how? So you're just gonna, take over your father's company? He's like, no. So it's a plumbing. He said, I have to be a plumber first. And I said, a plumber? And he says, yeah, because then if someone brings in to me and say, okay, this screw is $8. It's like, no, it's not, it's $4. I was a plumber. I know what it is. So I know everything about the business. And so I said, that's how a point guard thinks. I know everything when a player, my center's doing, I have to know where the center's doing, the point guard, the shooting guard. I know everybody's position in play. I just don't know the play. I know what everyone's doing in the play.